Hello viewers, about a month ago I did a story on Abby Steiner regarding her lawsuit against Puma. Since then, two more athletes have filed lawsuits. Here's my commentary on the situation. The two athletes in question are sprinters. Champion Allison is American, specializing in the 400 meters. He's 27 years old and his major achievements include winning gold in the 4x4 relay at the 2022 World Championships. He's the 14th fastest man over 400 meters. He achieved that at the US Olympic trials back in 2022. His complaint states he can no longer compete at his pre-injury level. Next athlete is Damian Thomas. He's Jamaican and he specializes in the 110 hurdles. He's also 27 years old. He was the world champion in 2018 at the World Under-20s. He also made the semi-finals at the Tokyo Olympics. And in 2021, he was the NCAA indoor champion. His complaint describes severe and permanent injuries that ended his ability to compete at Olympic level. So they've both filed separate lawsuits, but their claims against Puma are the exact same. Just like Abby Steiner, they filed the lawsuit in the Massachusetts Superior Court, and they are being represented by Peter Flowers, who's the same lawyer in Abby's case. They've both accused Puma and Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix Limited of selling racing shoes with design flaws that cause career-altering injuries. Injuries that include foot, Achilles, and bone stress. The lawsuit states that the athletes began wearing the Puma footwear in 2022. So the reason why Mercedes-Benz is involved in this case is because their Formula One engineers were involved in the design and engineering of the Puma shoes in question. So the core of the lawsuit is that the athletes believe that the carbon fiber plate and the nitrofoam technology caused permanent foot and Achilles injuries. They accuse the companies marketing the shoes as safe without adequate disclosure of injury risks. So here's Puma's response to the allegations. Puma said they strongly deny all allegations, stating that their products are continuously worn by elite distance runners and track athletes to break records, and they refuse claims that their performance products cause injuries. So the question I'm asking is, could these three filings open up a Pandora's box of athletes suing shoe companies? Because it's interesting to know that Peter Flowers told Front Office Sports, quote, runners and coaches contacted his firm with similar foot injuries after Steiner's filing became public, end quote. Now how about this? So during my research into this video, I found out that in November 2025, former UC Berkeley runner Heather Kearney sued Nike in a federal lawsuit filed in California. So she claims that Nike Alpha Flies 2s placed abnormal stress on her forefoot, which caused a severe sesamoid bone fracture that required surgery. And she claims that it actually left her with a permanent partial disability. In her case, Heather, she actually paid for the Nike Flies herself in November 2023. And then she claims a few days later she wore those shoes in a competition, and it's the shoes that caused her injury. Here's my opinion on the whole situation. So the human foot was not designed for all these fancy sports shoes we wear today. If the shoe you wear drastically alters your foot natural mechanics, then it will likely cause long-term problems. We know for sure that these specialist running shoes were designed for a competitive edge, but how much thought went into their long-term safety. Because remember, it's not only athletes that are wearing these shoes, they've made them for just casuals like you and me. While these track cases are unprecedented, the closest lawsuit I found was back in 2012 Vibram. So they're the ones that make those, those five finger shoes. What they call them, the minimalist shoes. So there was a lawsuit against them, Vibram. It was Bizdig v Vibram. It was a class action lawsuit. What they found was Vibram claimed that their five finger shoes strengthened the foot muscles and reduced running injuries. So then in 2014, agreed to pay 3.7 million settlement, where customers were entitled to a refund. What's very interesting in that case is that Vibram didn't have to admit to any wrongdoing, but they just legally had to stop advertising the shoes, like the claims for the shoes that they strengthen foot muscles or decrease injury risk. On to my last point. Like I said in Abby's video, corporate cases like this normally resolve in out-of-court settlement. So let's wait and see if I'm right. Remember to watch my video on Abby Steiner's case for further context. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.